I can tell you what I want to do after HEX.
What's his...
After HEX is Scivive, which is medical research, because it's the only thing that really matters. My life doesn't change.
Yeah, the Audrey
de Grey. Yeah.
Is that Audrey de Grey?
Yeah. Aubrey, with a B. Those initiatives, health is the only thing that matters. So look, Bitcoin goes up to 20K, Bitcoin goes down to 3K. Nothing changes in my life. HEX isn't launched. HEX is launched. Nothing changed for me, right? Like,
what was that deep mind? Remember that when they got deep mind and they mapped it to a chat bot and they asked it a bunch of philosophical questions, and one of the questions was what's the meaning of life? And then DeepMind said to live forever. And then we actually think about
it. That's so fucking good idea. Like, what a good idea. The fucking thing answered correctly. I got that information when I was in elementary school. Some guy ran a website.
That's what we're all trying to do, essentially, is
the smart ones, the stupid ones think that it's just going to suck. Well, if it just sucks, kill yourself. We're not making immortality. We're just making, like, even if you get rid of all aging, you still die by accident at 600.
It's that thing young people say, like, I don't want to live forever. But then, if you go and ask some 80-year-old sat in some wheelchair, if they want to live longer, they'll say, yeah, I want to live longer. I want to be healthy.
And they'll say, you should have got laid more. You should have, like, fuck more high schoolers, is like every 80-year-old's answer. I don't know what kind of 80-year-olds I'm hanging out with.
Tap that ass.
So, like, if you, people, when you're young, right, people will be at the gym, and they're like, yeah, I don't want to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And you're like, listen, don't worry about it. You'll never, ever, 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 no matter what you do, ever look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. So you don't have to worry about working out too hard. And it's like the aging thing. It's like you don't ever, 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 ever have to worry about immortality, okay? It's not going to fucking happen. Try and get like an extra 5 years of extra health span out of research so that it can still keep working for your offspring and for the rest of the history of mankind and not just for you. Like if you get 5 years through diet, okay, you just help you.
I mean, I think Aubrey's longevity escape velocity thing does include probably us. So we could technically live to 1,000. So
sure,
immortality might be within our reach. Things like Corona don't really help.
The caveat there is that you have to cure everything. So to get that every year of rejuvenation, there's also this caveat that you also have to have cured cancer and heart disease and stroke and artery hardening and there's a long fucking list there.
Yeah, there's a long list, but then it's the quantity of engineers and scientists working on those problems. What's that statistic? There's more engineers and scientists alive working right now, than there ever existed throughout the entire history of the planet.
I didn't expect you to be talking about the most important thing in the world, far more important than crypto. I didn't know you were into this. Yes, this shit that you're talking about now is the most important thing in the world. It is far more important than crypto. You can still get rich in it. And if you get rich in medical technology, the life you save might be your own. So if you can fucking stop staring at screens and stop staring at charts and stop building F1 race cars and all this other shit that's going on and fucking work on healing the humans, that's the best thing any human being can do, is heal other humans and work on that technology. So that is what is next for me. So I wrote 2 self-help books called Scivive, How You Can Survive Through Science, which is mostly just about how to actually get rich and get laid and do the things that guys care about, with the end part being, okay, now that we got you where your cup floweth over, let's go get more of this shit now. Like, let's stick around for a little bit longer. Because no one will just buy that book, right? You have to like sync up with them and then pivot them to what the good, wholesome shit is. You can't start there. No one's going to buy that book, right?
I think it's a good way of framing it as well, because there's a lot of these people who, who may be a bit on the bit more selfish side of things. They don't think about something, say like climate change, for example. But then
I don't give a fuck about climate change personally.
But if you're going to live forever, isn't.
But currently, I'm not. I'm a fat piece of old shit. Is where I'm at right now.
Well, if you're on the longevity escape velocity, if you believe in Aubrey, then you are going to live forever.
Well. I mean, look at Ray Kurzweil and look how much older he looks every year. He looks about 1.5 years older every year. So his longevity escape velocity ain't working so good for him. And he's the fucking lead bro for some shit at Google. And he's got his own vitamins, the Ray and Terry vitamins. And fucking, he ain't looking so good, man. So these people that are futurists and transhumanists, they're dying left and fucking right. And Aubrey's not looking much younger every year that passes. So the way that things are going right now, I have like absolutely no faith or certainty that I'm even going to make it to fucking 75 or 80, because it's just not, the shit's not.
No, man, I think Yeah, I mean, science takes a long time, and there's a lot of marrying of technologies. The ability to kind of print organs, I think that's a very hopeful field of increasing longevity, because most
Here,
people die from
you're going
organ
to need to
failure.
print your brain because people. Here's another
Yeah,
thing
which
people
is
don't
possible.
realize.
But it's more and more people are realizing it's possible to map, all the data which is in your brain into
Can't
another
do
brain.
it.
But it's just
You
really,
can't. You can't
it's
do
just
mind uploading.
how do you connect it together? That's
The
the
memory
problem.
is the meat. You can't do mind uploading. Like I'll send you a video on it. It's impossible. It crushes transhumanists because they're like, oh shit, I thought we could just.
Oh no, but you can interface completely your brain with a computer, and then take the data and then re-upload the data somewhere else. That could work.
I've
But
watched enough Black Mirror episodes.
yeah, you would need extreme computation, and then a gazillion tiny little neuron-sized
When
wires
4chan
to
hacks
get
your
all
soul,
together.
you're going to be very upset.
Yeah,
When a hacker
which would
named
happen.
4chan hacks your soul, you're going to be super sad.
But then that's the other question, isn't it? It's like, does technology just get to the point where we just fucking destroy ourselves?
Usually,
like,
yes.
is that why
That's
space
the
is
great
why?
filter.
'Cause intelligence gets to a certain point and then it just destroys itself.
So here's the fucking. It's called the Great Filter, and it basically is the age of the universe is old enough that we should be receiving radio transmissions from other sentient civilizations that have already come and gone,
And vast enough.
and we don't get any of that. So either there's some fucking big wall in the way stopping it from happening, like Star Trek Next Generation Q fucking sphere, or
Keep those guys insulated.
or something happens that stops the intelligent life from transmitting, like destruction. So it's yes, unfortunately, there's. I mean, I just read some Elyer Yudowski. He does a lot of research on AI and extinction level events, and he says, look, for 350 million, the United States could create enough high voltage transformers to withstand a solar flare that would literally knock out all of the electrical grid in the United States for 2 years. So if you don't want to have
Which are also
massive
quite likely.
starvation, huh?
They're also quite likely, that level of solar flare as well. It's
Sure.
not like a far off sci-fi event. It's just
Right.
like coronavirus, though, isn't it?
So we're
It's just
totally
likely
unprepared. They were
defend
totally
against.
unprepared for these lower probability, very high horror level risks. And for 350 million ain't shit. It ain't shit. They should do that instantly. They should instantly do that. Now, another thing, HEX, or rather Vitalik, he supports the Sun Foundation. He's given $6 million. So I consider the man a fucking hero. Builds free and open source software, codes hard as fuck, writes amazingly good articles. I mean, look, I read Vitalik's articles and I don't understand some of what the fuck he's saying. He's too smart for me. And I'm a smart motherfucker. Vitalik's smarter. So a guy that's given more to longevity research than me, smarter than me, writes more open source fucking code than me. I don't write no goddamn code. I respect the man. I respect the man greatly, and I think we need more guys like that. And who else is on his team? Peter Thiel gave him $100,000 to skip college. He was a Thiel, what do they call it? Thiel fellow, a Thiel fellow.
Yeah.
And what does Peter Thiel do? Invest in crypto, right? And who does Peter Thiel work with? His investment director, Eric, Jewish dude, curly hair, physicist.
No idea.
Can't remember his name. Eric Weinstein. So these guys are kind of all on the squad. I'm on that squad too, but they don't realize it or maybe they do and they don't talk about it publicly or whatever. I want to work with these guys to create that better world where we have more influence over the material, physical, and can make, everything is not digital, right? We need to be able to build shit. We need ventilators. We need production. We need transformers. We need fucking houses. We need real shit in the real world, right? Like protons, not just electrons. And those guys are kind of fucking on that level and working on that shit. And that's where I want to be, right? So